but it's fine. I'll live with it.
Well, it's a good day for a swim. What more can I say? Today, we will be starting at the Oak Bay Marina. Over there, about 2 kilometers away, did you say?
Yeah.
Swim. Then, we'll swim right over here to Cattle Point, right across the Willows Beach Bay area.
Awesome.
We're going to be swimming 2Ks across the bay against the currents, and I've got a little monitor here. So I've spent a great deal of my life in and around water. I'm also an emergency medical responder, and so today my main goal was just to keep everyone safe. I've been using a monitor to help with this. This will track not only our distance and time, but also our heart rate and temperature. Hopefully this will help to mitigate the risk of severe hypothermia, in which case we'll have to use the support boats to evacuate.
So is this swim going to be a warm-up for one of your marathons today?
Yeah, 1 out of 4.
Oh, wow.
I do lots of long distance running and I also enjoy cycling, so I'm not too concerned about this 2-kilometer swim. I think it'll be pretty easy overall.
Can you explain the little thing on your head? Does that help with like
this is actually the aerodynamics. If you calculate like the velocity that it generates, it's like 1.2 times faster. I'm studying physics in high school right now, so I think my knowledge of wind resistance as well as aerodynamics will really give me an edge in the swim today.
I'm scared. I've done anything like this before. Never. And I'm afraid I could die today. I decided to join the swim because I really want to push myself, do something I've never done before. And to be honest, I was quite nervous. Like as I watched the support boat being loaded into the water, especially, there was this moment when I just realized this is serious. Like the distance is long, the water is freezing, and we have a support boat. Like what kind of a swim even requires a support boat? Like what we're doing is extremely dangerous, and out in the open water, anything can happen.
That was the time I was supposed to show up. Okay. Was I not supposed to show up at 8:30?
we got an extra wetsuit.
So apparently we were supposed to meet at 7:30 and not 8:30 like Kai told me. I was feeling pretty good about the swim right up until the point where Gareth told me the only wetsuit he had was a Farmer John. And if you don't know what a Farmer John is, it's sleeveless. It's basically just nothing.
It is thick.
You literally lied.
It's really good. He'll be fine.
I remember thinking, I won't be fine.
We decided to do a run just to warm up the wetsuits. Not only will this help us to stay warm during the swim, but it's also there to get us into the game mentally. We'll be running from Cattle Point to the marina. It's about a 3K run, and it's not easy by any stretch of the imagination.
Our warm-up to the marina was pretty easy. I was ahead most of the time, warming up really nicely, and I was feeling really good about the swim.
So far, my vertical ponytail is doing the job. I was able to keep up with Nick for the entire run, so I'm feeling pretty confident that I'll be able to execute on the swim.
The run was really hard for me. I was so tired and I could barely keep up with the rest of the group. And I kept thinking to myself, if I can't even do the warm-up, how am I going to do the swim?
I met the boys at the marina, which is where they'll be starting their swim back to Cattle Point, and I'll be paddleboarding alongside them as support. I am so glad that I'm not swimming with them. Once everyone was at the marina, we got the gear sorted out, set up the cameras, and it was go time.
We got this.
It's gonna be.
Someone else is having some second thoughts.
Let's go. Oh yeah, support crew. Here we go. All right. Ah! Big mistake. Big mistake. Oh my god. It's so god.
It's in my body. It's in my body. My hands are gone. Oh. Guys, I can't feel my arms. I'm not even kidding. I got pins and needles.
Basically, right from the moment I got in the water, I was just freezing. Because I had absolutely no sleeves. My arms, like, immediately went numb. We weren't even past the island yet, and I knew it was about to be rough.
This current is getting on my nerves. Just don't move.
After we passed the island, the true wrath of the wind really was apparent, as well as the current that was overwhelming. It felt like we were going nowhere. It felt like we were swimming up against a river. Not only was this physically exhausting, but mentally too.
Hey, do we still have music playing? It's really bad.
I love the music.
I hate this. It's so stupid. Like Tyler, the creator. Thought you did cool. I thought it would be a really good idea to bring a speaker in my tow bag so we could have some music to listen to, you know, jam out a little bit. But it ended up being a really bad idea. It was on shuffle and it kept playing really bad songs and I couldn't skip anything because my hands were so wet and I couldn't access my phone. So that was probably the hardest part of the swim for me.
That was the hardest part? You weren't cold or tired or anything?
Not too bad, no. The swim was pretty easy. The music was really annoying though. You kind of had to be there to understand.
I was there.
How's the water? Pretty good. Not too cold. Bro, I'm ready to sprint it all the way there.
Here's the thing, Kai, I want to do this, but like, I don't know if I could keep up.
In the beginning, it was pretty chilly, but about halfway through the swim, I really started to floor it and got into a rhythm. I even passed Ethan on the paddleboard. As I could see Cattle Point in the distance, I thought to myself, man, will I look good on that podium.
Let's go, guys. Come on, baby. Have a stitch. Oh, that's such a bad stitch.
This was the worst stitch I've ever had. At this point, I was so mentally and physically exhausted. It felt like a paralyzing shock had taken over my body and my legs started to cramp. And at this point, I just had to take a second to hold on to the paddleboard.
Do you want to hook a ride on the Zodiac? He's got a stitch.
Want to hang on to the boat?
When Gareth got a cramp, he grabbed onto my paddleboard and I signaled the support boat to come over. He took a break in the Zodiac for a bit, and once the stitch went away, he was back in the water swimming again.
By the end of the swim, I was so far behind everyone that I could barely see them. I was exhausted, freezing, and I didn't think I was gonna make it. Part of me just wanted to give up right there and call in the support boat. But I came out today to be challenged. So I promised myself I wouldn't stop until I reached that boat ramp.
Very close, very close.
I can't feel my hand.
Home stretch, final push. He's got to finish. Hi, Kai!
We all got to the boat ramp at different times, but Nick and I were the first. Naturally, we had to wait until everyone else got there so we could all finish together.
Once we all arrived at the boat ramp, we walked out together, kind of as we walked in. This was a really dope moment, one that I won't forget.
Awesome.
It's pretty good.
I was not doing so hot when the swim was over. I was sitting there dying, or wishing I was dying, and it was definitely the coldest I've ever been.
Just kissing the ground.
I was so happy to be on solid earth again that I just started kissing the ground. To be honest, I never thought I'd be this excited to see concrete in my life.
The last little bit I seemed to cramp up, just made for a very difficult ending.
The 2K distance was definitely a challenge, but by far the biggest part was just the cold. We all seemed to handle it pretty decently. I'd say except Scott, he definitely had some form of mild hypothermia. So I'd say other than the cold and the distance and the stitch I got at the end, it was a positive experience.
Okay, final question. As hard as this swim was, would you ever do it again?
Yes.
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 Oh, for sure.
No.